So an invasive species is a non-native species, so a species that was originally not here pre-settlement before us humans, and that causes some type of harm or outcompetes native vegetation and can have some type of damage economically or environmentally. Phragmites is probably one of the most prevalent invasive species in this area in an urban watershed like this. We tend to see it quite a bit in both Macomb and Oakland County. It's also known as like common reed, and it came over, I believe, from Europe, and it can cause a lot of impacts to the watershed, and the costs to try to control and manage it are pretty high as well. And because of how prevalent it is, it's one of those things that it's more of a control and manage thing. To get rid of it at this point, eradication will be pretty tough.
Invasive species can have a significant impact on property values. These are a pair of photos showing the exact same boathouse before and after the Phragmites were removed. The boathouse on the corner of the photo is exactly the same. The only difference is that the Phragmites have been removed. The first picture shows a fire hazard. If those Phragmites ever caught fire, the boathouse and its contents would be gone very quickly. The second picture shows a very attractive vacation home that would be very desirable with good property values.
There is a regional effort to try to maintain and control invasive species, and that includes Phragmites. Oakland County has an Oakland County SISMA group, and SISMA stands for Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area, which Clarkston and Independence Township is a part of. And that effort is to eradicate and manage certain invasive species, try to get ahead of other ones that maybe are newer or on a watch list, so people are aware of them before they become an issue, like Phragmites has gotten to the point of.
So one of the things that the public or the residents within our communities can do to help combat invasive species would be to participate in MISSIN, which is an app. You can also do it online, but it's called the Midwest Invasive Species Information Network. It's a lot of words, but it's very easy to use, and it's actually an app. It's also a resource for identification, and you can put in how much of that species is there, how dense it is, and that gets reported directly to the state. So some of the agencies that are doing work directly with invasives, such as DNR, DEQ, and some of these other areas, they can have it mapped out for them where each one of these individual species are and how much of it is there so that they can prioritize their locations for treatment. Here at the Watershed Council, we can provide materials that will help residents to ID these species easily and quickly. We also provide trainings here for people on how to use MISSIN and direct them to areas to where they can get in contact with the right people, such as the local SISMA organizations for both Oakland County, and St. Clair also has their own SISMA as well.
A great opportunity to learn how to identify these plants is to volunteer to help local organizations control invasive plants on their properties. It's the best way to learn how to do this. North Oakland Headwaters Land Conservancy and Oakland County Parks and the Stewardship Network have all kinds of initiatives where they are seeking volunteers to control invasive plants. That's the best way to learn how to do it on your own property, and the best way to learn how to identify these plants.
The number one way that residents can help is by number one, reporting everything to MISSIN or reporting it to the township, and just being vigilant and trying to prevent things from popping up that shouldn't be there, such as invasive species, before they even occur. If you're going to plant a garden, if you're going to plant plants around a pond, a lake, next to the river, whatever the case may be, try to stick to native species so that you kind of avoid those vectors and how things get out.